Atreus, this mine is largely abandoned. It is unlikely.
Here's here. I know it. Derlin's direction is not at the entrance to the mine. We just have to keep searching until we find him. You said you'd follow my lead, and I say we keep looking. So knock it off.
Y'all see this shit right here? This is why you're supposed to whoop your kids.
Yo! You thought I forgot about you, little boy.
Hell no, I ain't forget. You thought that we was too distracted to talk about how trash Odin was, that we not gonna talk about how you actually the real villain of this whole shit? Like, get your ass over here, bro. We about to talk about you for a second. After beating God of War Ragnarok, I've been studying its narrative profusely, and I can confirm that not only Atreus is the real villain and the real antagonist of this whole story, but also that he is more of a threat and more of a manipulator than Odin could ever wish to be. Atreus has officially made the 9 realms and whatever other land his playground. He was able to play everyone like chess pieces to do his whole bidding for his fake sense of purpose and honor. He may claim that he doesn't want no war or Ragnarok to start or no fights to happen, but he wishes it. He wanted that shit to happen. Don't let this trickster god fool you, talking about some, all I wanted was some answers. I wanted to see the truth. Nigga, you wanted blood. You wanted glory. Glorious purpose. Damn. 2 adaptations of Loki are not that different. Let us observe how Loki plays his hand throughout the entire story. The story starts off strong with him complaining about how his life isn't special enough and how he needs to get out there and get some excitement. Basically, he continues to nag Kratos on about this shit over and over again because he knows Kratos is gonna fall off with it because he senses a broken man who feels like he has nothing else going on with his life except for atonement of being a good father. And when your father is the god of war, you can basically get away with anything. And not just the ghost of Sparta. Freya, Brock, Sindri, the freedom fighters, and even Odin were all under the palm of this mastermind's hand, and they didn't even know it. This kid really thought it was a good idea to pull up where Freya was staying to try to get her to join his cult. But what he was really doing was rubbing in her face that her son is dead. And ironically, it was a good idea, because he planted the seed in her mind for Kratos to come and convince her to forgive him completely. Don't think he just stumbling around unintentionally doing shit. He know exactly what the fuck he's doing. He was even able to trick the All-Father himself. Odin pulled up to their house and invited him to Asgard thinking like, oh, this is how I'm gonna stop Ragnarok and take it in my hands. While Atreus was a million steps ahead of him and said, this is how I'm gonna start Ragnarok. Because we all knew when he pulled up to Asgard, he was up to no good. And when he climbed all the way up to the top of the peak of the wall, Heimdall was there to stop his ass like, what you doing over here, my guy? Because he's the only character with a brain in the Aesir pantheon. That reading minds and reading intentions shit is really overpowered as hell. There's a reason why Kratos got a weapon specifically for this nigga. Not a weapon specifically for Odin or Thor, because he wasn't worried about them. Heimdall, because he was the most dangerous motherfucker there, and there was probably no other way to get rid of this man. When Heimdall was letting him into Asgard, the first thing he did was check his ass.
Oh. You are here to help people.
No.
No. You are here to help yourself.
Damn.
And lie to whoever you have to get what you want. You are chaos in a speaking of archers. I watch your mouth move and I see cities burning.
Loki is so dangerous that it took a fucking mind reader to literally spell out his true intentions and motivations. His only intention of letting that motherfucker in the first place was to expose him to the All-Father himself, but the All-Father, being the dumbass that he is, was on his Dutch Vanderland shit, acting like you got a goddamn plan, when really you about to get everybody killed.
I'm just messing around. Of course he needs to betray me, huh? Heimdall?
Huh? In retrospect, I cannot believe that the All-Father just let this man pull up to Asgard, fuck shit up, leave, come back, fuck some more shit up. Like, is that Maz really the #1 priority when we're trying to make peace and stop Ragnarok? He literally adopted this man and made him the stepbrother that nobody fucking likes. Atreus can run around and do absolutely whatever the fuck he wants. He can run around and make any type of mistakes and no type of harm really comes to this man. He always has a get out of the jail free card in his pocket. Throughout the whole story, there was really no dire consequences to his actions. And when there were, his daddy was there to fix all that shit up for him. Like when he had freed Garm and came back to tell everybody on some sympathy type stuff, and everybody was looking at him like, bro, why would you do that? Here come his overpowered ass daddy to save his behind.
There was a wolf in hell. He's in chains and I set him free.
You what?
Hellwalkers are just the beginning. What were you thinking?
This is a fuck up of not insignificant proportions. What would drive you to such mischief? Is this Loki's doing?
Enough. Leave him.
Right. He said, don't be talking about my son.
No, fuck your stupid ass son. Dumb shit. You a kid, nigga?
When the god of mischief believed that he screwed up in a big type of way, that's when he want to act all sad. But I want to ask a question. Is he really sad? Or is he just doing this to manipulate everyone to act like he cares? But in reality, this is all a part of a plan to start a war where he ends up on top. But yeah, obviously, Brock and Sindri are the people who got the worst from the wrath of Loki. Especially how they were like his main #1 supporters. His main #1 allies. And one of the most useful people in the group. Killed because you allowed the enemy to infiltrate your territory. This kind of hits close to real life. Isn't it a shame that the people with the biggest hearts live in this cold ass world and they're the main ones that's getting punished? Brock and Sindri are the only ones who get the bad ending of God of War Ragnarok. They are literally the Peter Parker archetype.
In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother?
While Kratos gets to have his redemption arc completely fulfilled, and Atreus gets a new girlfriend and goes to play Who's That Jotun, what is left for the Holder brothers? I sense an extremely dangerous future for Atreus if he continues to walk upon this path that he has set for himself. Atreus, if you're watching, I advise you to hop on Elden Ring, fight that dude Morgoth, so he can tell you to put these foolish ambitions to rest. Because all you're gonna do is get more people hurt in the process. Elden Ring still sucks. Thank you for 100 subscribers, and I'll be heading home now.